Hey, bottom line, we all got to get out of Babylon. First and foremost, I want to say, call Haloyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom and salutation to you brothers out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity. Shalom to all the Akim and the Aqua listening. All right. And I made that statement because the first thing I woke up to, where they talking on the news and first article, I'll check on my phone. I don't know if y'all can see that. But anyway, it's about the dad of the quarterback, I believe in Michigan. He went viral getting caught touching his girlfriend's butt during a bowl game. All right, and then they showed this Edomite dude, pressing up on his son's girlfriend at the game, and he live on the screen touching her butt. That spirit of overlust, I believe it's lasciviousness, is here in Babylon and is here to stay, and it's only gonna get worse, man. If you got cravings and sexual lusts and cravings that you ain't never worked out, it's only gonna get worse, man. Yup, it's only gonna get worse, man. As you can see, the pornography industry, just the fact that exists and is ran by Amalek too, and they don't take. I mean, look, we all know what they promoting now on that. They promoting incest. They promoting sleeping with your stepmoms. They promoting evil and wickedness, bro. It's no longer like, a guy meets a girl situation. Nah, it's like, you be in the house and you looking at your stepmoms, or your stepmoms looking at you, or your stepsister, your sister is caught looking at you while you coming out the bathroom. It's all lustful, lascivious, wicked, evil. It's all terrible, man. I wouldn't be surprised if if rap music starts going towards incest, man, because that's the spirit in which Esau Edom is coming hard. They doing that, right? So that's why this dad getting caught out here touching his son's girlfriend. That's adultery. All right, now in I believe 1 Corinthians, either the 3rd or the 5th chapter, possibly the 3rd, there's a situation amongst a church of Corinth where somebody was having sex with his father's concubine, and the whole church was just ignoring it, as if, that's not our business. So they end up excommunicating that man. And that's where it's written, if a man be give him over unto Satan, that he may be saved, or something along them lines. So every trial, even consider my situation, everything is a test that you may be won, that you win the prize, you win the victory. All right, we all still in this race, right? For that man who was dealing with his father's concubine, it doesn't go on to say whether he came back into the faith or not, but he was excommunicated, and that was the order of Paul, right? But yeah, it's written that so that man could be, you gotta put certain thing out amongst you, rightfully so, right? But yeah, look, man, every man's situation is different. Every man calling is different. You're not in the stead of every man. You got to just understand, everybody got to fight their own way up out of this hell. We all do. It's a spiritual fight every day. And dealing with this situation with the overlust. Like, I turn on the radio, they talking about some more lust. When you go outside, it's more lust. Now, let's get some scriptures on why a lot of this is going on. First of all, folly is set in great dignity. I'll just quote it. Folly is set in great dignity. And so that means, folly, to make oneself like a fool, making you like a fool. All right? Creating fools. And it's set in great dignity because they want more fools. I think it was one of the Rockefellers that said, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. So they've been took critical thinking out of your school system. And that's why, coming into the truth, was like it was unheard of. I mean, it's comparable to the military, with a lot of the brothers speaking about their experience in the military, because it sets you right, it sets you right. But I don't want to ramble. Let's go on. 1 Timothy 2:9 says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. A lot of this lustful situation would have been wiped off. It wouldn't been allowed to exist had women never been given a right to wear exactly whatever they want to wear. If this was a society that stood by biblical principles and standards, women would be dressed modestly, right? And what's wrong with that? Only a real independent, looking for a sugar daddy woman got an issue with that. Modesty means dressing moderate in the estimation of one's abilities or achievements. Or that was modesty. But modesty means relative to modest, limited, meager, right? Yeah. So that modest apparel. You're supposed to have your body parts covered up. You're supposed to have your hair covered up. And right now in the land of India, where Elam is at, they got a lot of gang grapes. Yeah. So and they chop. Why is that? Why is it so many? Right over there in the UK, over there in Norway, and a lot of these Elamites coming from the south and Ishmaelites coming from that area up into Europe. There's a lot of training. They training them up because as soon as they see a woman and she got her hair out and she got some booty shorts on, she good for the gander, man. It doesn't process in a man's mind like, oh, she's dressed like a slut, but she ain't one. She dressed like a hoe, but you ain't one. A man mind gonna run for it. We gonna run. The mind gonna run before you even holler at him. It says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. The society is going to shit because a lot of men can't handle what they see in women. Then they go watch porn and then they all night long fapping it out, right? And then you can't even, the urge to fight is hard. It's even harder than, it's harder just to restrain yourself. And because you go outside and then you reminded again, look at all these sexy women available and they ain't trying to hear you. They turning you down, right? Whatever the case may be, right? You gotta have the right bank account. Your money ain't right. You ain't shaved up or looking right, whatever. You ain't dressed the right way, and so you turn you down. But the visual is still available for you. So you mentally sexualize. She's sexualizing herself, and now you sexualizing her. And then you try to figure out. They try to figure out why we want to have sex on the first night, or the next night, or the next night. It's because our mind, everything you got is tight. Everything you got on, none of it is modest. And not just that. When I turn on the TV, there's more of it. When I go outside, there's more of it. When I turn on my music, there's more of it. The sexualization of young girls, the sexualization of of women in general. You wasn't sexualized in the ancient world. You weren't sexualized. Your lot was for your husband. Everything involving sex or sexuality was for your husband at home. When you stepped outside your house, you were clothed. It says, and likewise also women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness. Does that still exist? Feeling embarrassed about yourself? Well, damn. I mean, just go to South Beach in Miami. All right? Go to Vegas. Go to one of these nightclubs. You're going to see. You ain't going to find no shamefaced. Anybody feeling ashamed of themselves, they'll get bodies on bodies on bodies. The body count number be as high as odometer. And ain't no shame ever. What? They at the whole, what they call it, slut walk. You know, and it's a shame. It is a shame, though. It's a shame, man. Because, man, when the Lord actually beautify a woman, man, when he actually beautify a woman, man, that's why a lot of dudes really turn into simps. Because they don't understand that it ain't like it used to be. This ain't your grandmama times, man. This ain't your grandma time. Like, you get chewed up now, acting like a simp, man. Trying to pedestalize, glorify a woman. They not in their shame right now. They not shamefaced it. It says in sobriety. Sobriety. 1 second. Yeah, so it says sobriety here. Let's, you know, I'm really going to tap into what some of these words mean now. Now that I'm almost parked up. All right. I mean, this is literally the scriptures. Paul is telling women how to dress, not because it's about dominating a woman's space and mind and energy. Y'all still gonna carry your own energy, whether y'all think y'all robotic or not. Y'all still gonna have your own energy in your house amongst your children. You gotta actually put your energy into the right thing, and that really goes for men and women alike who turn back to the Lord. You just gotta put your energy into the right things. All right. Let's say here for interlinear. Let's get some of these definitions. Let's get some of these definitions, God. All right, shamefaced. Let's look at that real quick, because that's all you gonna hear about in Babylon until we out of here, man. It's gonna be sex, 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 lust, lust, lust. You got seeds, you got little daughters, man. They being sexualized. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Shamefaced, a sense of shame or honor, modesty, bashfulness. Bashful. When the last time you heard anything about a bashful woman? Reverence. Oh man, that's where you get the word fear from. Reverence. To revere somebody or a reverend, you have a certain amount of fear for them. You can't have a certain amount of fear for the apostles and elders. It's a comfortable amount. It's not where you are feel like a slave. It's a comfortable amount, right? It says regard for others, respect, but this is talking about how it says through the idea of downcast eyes, bashfulness, i.e. towards men. Check that word shamefaced out. Or modesty, or towards Yahweh. But it includes men in there. Why? Because you're supposed to have a husband. This whole freak, hot girl summer. You ain't supposed to have hot girl summer after hot girl summer. This is a catastrophe. It says, in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety. Let's look that word up, sobriety. Because as you watching TV, you're not going to see shamefacedness or sobriety. It's about telling men to their face with they finger in your face, man. Soundness of mind, self-control, a sound mind, i.e. literally sanity. A lot of these, somebody do a sanity check on Glorilla. Somebody give a sanity check to Summer Walker real quick. Somebody go ahead and give me a sanity check on Megan Thee Stallion. Bring her forth to the brothers and let them assess her sanity, man. It says, or figuratively, self-control, soberness, sobriety. So sobriety, your self-control and your sanity and your soundness of mind is 1 and 1. If you out here thinking that you ain't like you got that spirit like you just gotta hop on something, you kind of dealing on the levels of insanity. You're not sobriety. Your self-restraint ain't tight. So for men, there's a certain level of soundness of mind we should have, and for women, is a certain amount of soundness of mind you should have, which includes looking down at the feet towards men, like not literally doing that, but you embody that, man. You embody that. It's a certain sister that coming to my mind right now, man, because I was damn near the first time I ever seen anything like that. Eve was shamefaced, bro. All right, shout out to that sister. It says, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. If you wiped out, I'm of the belief, along with Paul, that if you wiped out all of this whole, if you took out whole culture, there wouldn't be as much grape. There wouldn't be incidents of molestation. There wouldn't be as many incidences of molestation. There wouldn't be as many a lot of things, man. Domestic violence situations. Imagine how many times dudes' wives left the house looking like a snack, man. They wives leaving the house or going on girls' trips and all of this, man. The energy in the room speaks lust. It speaks other men's wives. It speaks adultery. The energy in America is all about sexuality. Sex. They got everybody wrapped up in sex, man. Now ain't nobody paying attention to the times. Meanwhile, what the elite's doing? First of all, they over there on the Epstein Island, all right, smashing little kids, and they really devil worshiping, and they into the philias, the different philias with the pedo attached to it. You know, the child snatching, right? They into that, man. And so as the king saw the people, it's starting to seep out into the world of you Americans, you everyday modern Americans, bro. Your mind is sapped on this sexual thing, man. I mean, as soon as a bad chick walk by, bro, as you're supposed to, you look, but right away your mind starts, you know, it's like your mind escapes you. It'd be all about that. You can't even focus no more. There's a reason why Paul would say this. It says, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. There it is, man. A woman could be a hell of a help. A whole lot of help. Good energy, positive vibes. In the NLT, it says, verse 9 to 10, and I want women to be modest in their appearance. That's all right. You covering your head. That's the end of the world? That's the only way you know how to express yourself? I can't express myself. I can't be... All you doing is throwing green and red up in your hair. Right? And they starting them at a young age, man. And what you think is going to happen? The new age is going to be just as sexualized. By the time they 14, 15, they sexualized. And so, you know, you might get in a relationship with one guy, but what you expect? Everywhere he look, is sex. Everywhere he look. The TV, the marketing, the advertisement is sex. What they teaching in the school system is now sex. They teaching LGBT sex. So your children got a choice of which sex, man. It's all sex. Everybody's sex crazy. And this is why the laws was established on these principles of dressing. This is why even Paul was making recommendations as far as how women should be in dressing. That takes out of a lot of crime. A lot of crime revolves around passions of sex and passions of lust. It says they should wear this decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold and pearls and expensive clothes. Imagine, we understand now that a woman is a creature that desires some type of attention, right? You got certain women with daddy issues. Understandable. Our society, you know, our society, Israel, the world within the world, Israel, we grew up with a lot of different BS going on, man. Daddy might have been a pimp, pimped your mom out. Daddy might, you know, daddy wasn't around or whatever, might have beat on you, might have touched on you. Stepdad might have touched on you, looked at you, you know, cousins or whatnot. We understand this type of things happen. This is a normal thing. You know, brother Corral used to say that, man, if a woman ain't been touched in her life, man, that's like a rare thing. Like by a family member or whatnot. This is normal in the Jake community. So it says here, for women who claim to be devoted to Yahweh should make themselves attractive by the good things they do. Ooh, Paul was going, man. It goes on, verse 11, women should learn quietly and submissively. Ain't nothing wrong with being some, look, take it from me. As you know, somebody who's been ministering for this truth for the last so many years. There's fruits that you get and you acquire as long as you become a minister of something, a servant. There's fruits and rewards, and ultimately a servant is going to get his reward. Your servitude towards your husband, you're going to get your reward. You're not going to get it in everybody whistling, catcalling you. You're not going to get it by how fat your ass is. You're not going to get it how big your titties are. You're not going to get it how thick get it a different way. Get it by, make yourself attractive by the good things you do. It says with good works. Damn, man. Shout out to all the Akwab out there that's doing good works, man. And you're not using your good works to do something evil. Like, it don't come with something evil behind it. It's actually just you being good works. You're not trying to scheme out of your relationship. It ain't nothing like that. Let's continue, right? 1 Peter 3:3. 1 Peter 3:3. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh a great price. Ooh, meek and quiet, man. These is edifying words in these days. You know, especially if you the type that wants to get back, you want to do this, you want to be seen, you want approval, you want, popularity, you want this, that, and the third. Just to have a meek and quiet spirit is something only a blessed person would try to achieve. In the NLT, those verses say, don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. Don't trip on that stuff, man. And this is definitely getting into wives, because verse 1 and 2 is speaking concerning that, right? But every woman should be every woman really should be assuming that you will be a wife one day. You should walk in your, I won't say your glory, but walk in your future role as a wife. Like, walk in that role. Like, you're not gonna try to get all these bodies and just fuck around on the weekend if you really looking like to give your husband that. That's what your husband should have. And it says, don't be concerned about outward beauty and fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. Because these are all the things that's gonna bring attention to you. As a woman, for real, you're supposed to be shamefaced, meaning you're supposed to be ashamed of certain things, right? Every month you have your menstrual. That's supposed to be a moment that brings forth understanding, and it could be a moment that you just close up, you shamefaced. Imagine that, you out here on your menstrual and you popping off at the mouth, you up at the party, you dancing on dudes. It says you should clothe yourself instead with the beauty that comes from within. Man, in a lot of, certain times, sometimes very little, but every once in a while you can see it on the aqua. It's beautiful, man. You can see it. Like, when the shamefacedness come out, and when they just meek and lowly in spirit, man, and that humility spirit, bro. Man, for a man of the Lord, man, that'd be it right there. It says the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. That's deep. Unfading beauty. See, your beauty gonna fade. Don't wait till you 35 and up and you done hit that wall to start being, and you still trying to live you still trying to sexualize yourself. Look at Madonna. Look at these women out. Look at these hoes, man. I'm just calling it like it is. Look at these hoes. Look at them, man. Wow. They are out there in 79 years old. Dolly, what's her name? Dolly something with the two things on her. She got the fun bags. She brings the girls out everywhere she go. She's a prune, man. You about, your sun is setting, and it been set on your beauty, but you still don't. Beauty fades is the point here. It says, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to Yahweh. So there's an unfading beauty about you being gentle and quiet. It's fantastic. It's because you're doing that towards your husband, and you practicing that. Shit, rehearse it. Some women got this whole saying out here like, well, when I find that guy to submit to, then I'll be submissive. Where? How? You can't. You ain't never heard practice till you actually obtain? Live that out now, and then when you had that, you ain't got to turn it on like a light switch. It's going to be all dusty and dark in that room, man. It's like trying to turn on a room that you ain't been in years and figure out where everything's at. Man, you start looking around, you going to bump your head. You ain't going to know how to be shamefaced for that man. That man going to pick out all the cobwebs with you? No, man. Be gentle and quiet in spirit now. Be meek and quiet in spirit now, which is so precious to Yahweh. See, you serving your man is actually you serving the Lord. And that's the big dilemma amongst a lot of women. They don't understand that. You serving your man is serving the Lord. You having a gentle and meek spirit is serving the Lord. It's your spirit. You ain't got to be all boisterous and boastful. You can hold back. You ain't got to go out to girls' trip to South Africa. Chill. You ain't got to, hit the, open up the passport books, and every night you need to go to, you eating at Nobles on the weekend. You ain't got to do that, man. You a man, and then you keep at home, and you doing things. You learn how to do things for the Lord properly by doing for your man and living a meek and honest, sincere life. Sincere, meek, and honest. You dressing modestly. That's what those scriptures is all about. So ultimately, as I started with the dad filling up on his son's daughter at the football game. Ultimately, Edomite, by the way. Ultimately, what we headed towards is a time of real peace in the kingdom of heaven, where we ain't got to deal with all of this, man. This is crazy. This lustful, over lust. You wake up, lust. Sleep, lust. Go to bed, lust. Clothes on, lust. In the car, lust. It's lust, man. It's lust, man. But yo, through the spirit, I'ma say as from experience, bro. When you finally actually get what you thought you wanted the whole time, it don't be about nothing, man. This ain't that satisfaction you do. Imagine what men do. You do all types of things for about 30 seconds. And all that satisfaction after 30 seconds, that's all you got. And now who you got? Who is she after you done did your thing with her? Who is she now? She ain't shamefaced. She ain't modest. She not a housewife. You just did all of that for a concubine. Right? And imagine a society that promotes so much lust, and then prostitution is illegal. Imagine that. Promoting so much lust, but when a man just want to get off, he can't even do that without going to jail. How? So you forced to whack off, or you forced to be in a face, at the bar every night spending money? That man, Esau did a number, man. Psalm 16:11, thou wilt show me the path of life, in which we have through these scriptures. In thy presence is fullness of joy, in which we have Yahushua, because we have these scriptures, right? We have his scriptures, right? We can seek him now, because we understand what he needs, what he desires, how to return back to the Father. He already set up that. He already atoned for our sins already. How beautiful is it that he already did that, right? In the presence, in our fullness is joy, right? We have joy, all right? We are thankful of the report that we can return humbly to the Lord and seek him, right? As long as we repent. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore, And many of these pleasures include having multiple wives. All right, for the jakes that really like you that lust is like overwhelming, man. You know, that lust is overwhelming. I understand, bro. We in that society right now where, they everywhere. They twerking everywhere. They up, down, left, and right. And they here, don't go to the family reunion. Don't mess around go at the family reunion. Don't do that to yourself, man. Don't mess around and stumble upon your little cousin's Instagram. Don't because I mean now what? Now what, man? You can't even really be around women like that without thinking like that, because the energy in the room is just sex. It's always sex, man. Everything is about sex, man. Everybody's sexualized, man. The conversation. A woman will pull out a cucumber and just start doing that at the family reunion. Talking about cucumber challenge. Bruh. Shorty pull up at the family reunion, thicker than a bowl of grits. What you supposed to do? What you doing? What's on your mind? Dude coming, you going to don't go to the church. That's the Harlot house. Dude's wives coming up in the church. You think they modest? Thicker than a bowl of grits. There's some holes in this house. And your mind just activated. Like once you already overstepped, so now you gotta play it safe, man. You gotta damn be like Stevie Wonder out there. It says, at thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. So the Lord gonna please us, man. This is gonna be a delight thing, sweet thing, it say. Lovely thing, agreeable. Ooh, like that, agreeable forevermore, man. We're gonna have sound minds, sound bodies, good vibes, pleasantries, sweetness. The energy is gonna be sweet. The feelings, emotion amongst the brothers, Akim, the families, the unity amongst the body and the everything sweet, man. Isaiah 65:17 says, for behold, I create new heavens and new earth. And we understand it's made new, it's renewed. And the renewal is that of bringing everything under the subjection and order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, meaning that all heathen nations will be under subjection. And once Yahushua is in authority, he's going to establish righteous and true principles. That's what we need. True and righteous principles being established. It's a whole house out here, man. And we hate to see it because a lot of our family members get caught into it, man. We get caught into it, man. Yo, body after body, bro. Body counts be crazy. It says, in that which I create, for behold, I create in Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. There will be a joy and a rejoicing in the Lord's people who is Israel. There will be. We have to wait patiently on that. That day is coming. Have faith. Have more faith, man. Faith gonna take us up out of here on ships. It says, Isaiah 6, verse 19, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem. The Lord's gonna rejoice in us by beautifying us. He's gonna make Jerusalem a place, a city of peace again. And joy in my people. The Most High loves us. He acquired us. He consistently lets us know that he values us. And he does that through his chastening, mainly. As long as we're in captivity, that's how he does it. We said, of the Lord's mercies, we are not consumed. Jacob is not consumed yet. The people of the Lord are still here, no matter through the slavery, hardcore, through the concentration, the plantations, through the persecutions, all right, the afflictions, the Trail of Tears, and what they did to so-called Native Americans and Seminoles, all the way down to the atrocities, man, Central and South America. The Lord is finally going to beautify us, man, and take joy in us. Once again, that's why we turn back to the Father. That's why we believe. That's why we hope for elect. It says, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. And this all immodesty conversation, it leads to separation of families, man. It's not no joke. It ain't like you just saying like, yo, I want to control how a woman is. And the scripture do say, do not give your woman a liberty to gad abroad. If she does these things and she won't hear you, give her a bill of divorce. Like that's not a fun thing to go through. You know, that's not a great experience when you gotta give her the, you know, get her up out of there. You know, it's not, man. You know, brothers, we've been through that. I've been through that in the truth, man. Even as recently. And you know, but the scriptures say, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Why? Because we're going to have all these things beautified. We will be in a situation one day where we will experience what real joy amongst your wives really feel like, man. Your wives, man. And they will know about each other. There will be no hiding and scheming, man. You don't have to do that. That energy is weak as hell. It's fraudulent. It's not real character. It's just weird, man. Weird hiding your true identity, your true self, man. When you're not walking in the spirit, you got to do all of these hiding acts, and it's just weird. It's just too much, man. You know, you want to embrace your truth, so to speak. And our truth is that, you know, brothers, whether they want to have monogamy or not, that's up to the man. And the wife loving her husband should actually be more welcoming to whatever choice that man want to do. Simple, bro. It sounds simple, but it ain't to a lot of people. And the voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So the Lord's gonna wipe away that noise. It's a lot of noise coming out of Jerusalem right now. Our people, Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Natives. You know what that noise is? Crying, man. Crying, yelling, screaming, and weeping, man. It's weeping, man. Our people is weeping. They're in a bad case. They're in a bad situation, man. You know, the elder Hawaii just, you know, brought out that point where he went on the bus and saw about only 3 people that worked. The rest was homeless. Homelessness, that is real rock bottom right there, man. God, Lord, you about Shemi Shah for the Lord keeping us all, man. That is rock bottom right there, and that is the biggest situation, epidemic going on in a lot of these states, especially California. I remember years ago when I lived there in 2008, Skid Row, you know, homeless tents everywhere. They said that problem got 100 times worse since 2008. Yeah, man, we just gotta be comforted in the fact that the Lord's gonna reveal things. He's gonna open men up to understanding. He's gonna give us, and we're gonna reap a reward for our labors. Man, and a lot of that reward will be, we will have, our women will be beautified and made just for you. Imagine that, just for you, meaning she will be your first and your last, G. She ain't got nobody else to relate you to and compare your size to. He was this, he was too small, and man, listen, shamefacedness is anti-shamefacedness is out here for real. Woman will sit down and tell you about how big the last dude was, or how smaller he was, and how his joint was curved so he still hit the spot. It's crazy. It's saying ho, right? But yeah, man. You know, Albert Rotterdam's video was edifying, man. Bear with me, you know what I'm saying? For the argument out there, bear with me, you know. And call lawyer, how about Shemi Awashai, about Shemrakako Dash, double honor to the apostles and others, a great millstone, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, about that whole lustful situation, man. Relax, we gonna get it. Relax, man. Watch a few red pill videos, man. You ain't done. Relax, man. Clean up your heart and come polish yourself, G. Polish yourself, man. Polish yourself. We all gems and diamonds and gold apparatiza. So polish yourself, man. Work on yourself. Hey, shalom.